Ken Ogundara leads the Miami Hurricanes in his 13th season, 9th NCAA tournament appearance, 5th straight for the Miami Hurricanes. Ariana Rodriguez is their fine setter, and also keep an eye on Leilani Feliciano, a tremendous libero for the Miami side. Kansas got really balanced scoring for head coach Matt Ulmer in that opening match. Jill Reese-Patak with 7 kills, Iona with 7 kills. Kansas was pretty even across the board.
I thought it was Iona's best match of the year, actually. The middle blocker, the junior, she was fantastic.
Heredia Colon picks right up where she left off yesterday. Wins the opening point for the Hurricanes.
That was a give and go action and bounce the ball. Too much seam allowed. Heredia Colon, just like that, on the board.
Miami in the black, trimmed in orange and green. Kansas in their home whites, trimmed in crimson and blue. Glad you're with us from Lawrence. Zelinovich with a kill for Kansas. Is this the two heavyweights slugging it out tonight?
It's fitting, right, that we talked about those two players in the open, because both are going to be very reliant. Have to utilize Zelinovich when she's on the front row because of that high arm swing at 6'7". She can be that go-to player for the Jayhawks.
That's Logan Wiley, who had a good match for the Hurricanes.
And a good sign
opening match against Tulsa
for Miami early on to get their middles going. And keep an eye on here, as Ariana Rodriguez is one of the best. She leads the nation actually in aces this season. The lefty, the southpaw, can really get it going from the service line. Misses that one long. Yesterday we actually saw an interesting switch up for her. A lot of topspin, then she even had float serve that was working. So showing some versatility on what she can do from the service line too.
Two of the great servers in the country with Heredia Colon. Neither one of them really got on a service run.
Heredia Colon had 3 aces, so just like that, right? But both teams perfect so far early going on
Vergara scores it for Miami.
I call those handcuffed because Grace Nelson was in the back row. She didn't know where to play it, to get under with her platform or take it high with her hands.
Long from Heredia Colon. Had to go back to Kansas.
Enjoyed my conversation with Coach Keno before the match, and I said, "You seem so calm on the sideline." He's like, "I'm a bit more animated in practice," but he said, "This is the thing. I bring the intensity during the week. I practice." He's like, "But this is not. I can't do very much for them afterwards." He's like, "You got to have them, really pass the test, right? I mean, this is the test today." And a great matchup between two teams, 4-5 matchup in second round.
Heredia Colon from the back row. Kansas was there. Selena Laban redirects for Kansas.
And Heredia Colon on the back row did what she could. She had to stay down though. Watch this back row attack, plays it up, and she just puts her hand up, but she couldn't go up and jump because she was on the back row. But Selena Laban, she's a competitor. If I've learned anything from her in her freshman year.
Zelinovich with a good serve. Just a little mistime from Logan Wiley. Point Kansas.
And while Heredia Colon is on the back row, Kansas, this is where they're going to have to point score. And Zelinovich is the player for Kansas that has gone on a run from the service line with the heavy heat. She had 3 aces last night in that match.
That went just long.
You'd rather players miss long, right? Because you can start to put some more spin on it, find the end line as the match goes on. So you'd rather
nothing good happens into the net, right?
Nothing. Nothing good happens into the net. Make players make a decision is what I always say.
Grace Nelson kept that up. Somehow Ryan White saved it. Patak got a hand on that one. From the back row, Grace Nelson. Feliciano there with the dig. From the back row, Heredia Colon.
Well, if this is any indication, just 9 points in on how this match is going to go, buckle up because that was fantastic. Ryan White had never played a tournament match until yesterday. I think just going all out. Both of these liberos are going to be so fun to watch because there is no hesitation to their body at all. I mean, they're all out all the time.
Reese Patak goes up high. We've seen her all year long. We saw her all of last year. I think she got an extra 6 inches up on that one. Just a little extra juice tonight, maybe.
And she talks about that. She's like, I jumped so much higher off 1 foot. Credit maybe her dad being a basketball coach and playing a lot of basketball as she grew up. But a sophomore that sometimes I have to double look. I'm like, she is only a sophomore. I mean, what a treat to watch her play all season long.
One of the veterans on this squad, she got a block there. Ryan Swanson takes advantage for Kansas.
And it was a blocking move there from Reese Patak, slows it down, and then Ryan Swanson, smart to go high off the hands and try to ego hit and go straight down, the 6'2" senior.
Just off the tape. Attack was there. Swanson swings. Point Kansas.
Yeah, the thing for Miami at any time, right? Trying to keep the ball on your side. You'd rather the ball high up on the 10-foot line than an overpass. And so keep that ball on your side if you can. Another overpass opportunity. Ryan Swanson puts it down.
Katie Dalton gets up high.
And with some extra emotion, Katie Dalton, the senior setter, hanging up in the air, and you can feel the fire. And this is what it's all about, though. You know, I know some people get a little upset about it. It's like, no, bring the passion. They're on the other side of the net. This is not a physical contact sport. Let them have some emotion and let them show it. I know there's a thing about sportsmanship, but let's it's a competitive game.
How about the pickup from Logan Bell? Ryan White from her knees. Katie Dalton finishes it. Now you'll see some emotion.
I would rather the emotion back to your team, certainly, right? But Logan Bell on the back row, the freshman, the cover, and then Katie Dalton says, why not?
The crowd on its feet as Miami calls a timeout. The Jayhawks with the early lead here in the opening set. The hometown Kansas Jayhawks with the early lead over Miami here in the opening set from Lawrence, Kansas. Selena Laban serves it. Haley Wilson.
And a perfect first ball sign out from the Hurricanes right after that timeout. Exactly what they drew up there. Well-controlled first contact from Anilovic, and then getting their middle involved. Who can really hit at a high contact? Dahlia Wilson.
Vergara to serve. She was effective in that opening round match against Tulsa. Patak. Right down the line with a laser shot.
And I agree with you, Leaf. I mean, maybe some extra oomph on a couple of the attacks early going from Reese Patak. She remembers that feeling last year as Kansas, a heartbreaking loss to Florida in 5 sets on this home floor.
She's one of the few Jayhawks with real tournament experience.
She's the one that played the most significant time. Yes, she was on the floor.
Iona got a hand on that one. A little Pele move. Katie Dalton with the block.
Okay, so that's the block that ends it. But look at this. Little kick save for you.
They announced the World Cup today, I think, didn't they?
They did. It's so fitting.
Is Kansas in that one?
Coming to Kansas City. Hey.
Ariana Rodriguez is arguing, I think, with the up official here.
And I think they were questioning the double contact.
Yes.
If we could see that again, I think they thought the third contact over was a double, I believe, is what they're arguing.
Rodriguez looks at the up official and says,
Rodriguez looks
I
right
guess that's
at
our point.
Exactly. Watch her right after this kill. She looks right at him. Hey, here's it again. It's the emotion. It's the competitiveness. It's knowing that we're going to go home if we lose this. And both teams right now locked in.
Riddick Colon does not get a hand there. Going to Kansas.
You could see where she was going, and she's like, I don't know, you might have got that. Looks right at her. Nope. Okay. Flor Marie Heredia Colon, man, she's a treat to watch, though.
Zelenovich tried to send it down. Just a little short point, Hurricanes.
Yeah, maybe not enough height on that set. You don't see her miss very often, but the concern for Kansas is that I think Zelenovich maybe a bit sore and her maybe a little bit of a tightness, back tightness. So giving it a go and working through maybe a bit of an injury right now.
Ryan Swanson scores it for KU.
Oh, Ryan Swanson. It looks like a feather when she jumps, right? I mean, as light as a feather, just elevating up, and away. Perfect. Not perfect, excuse me. 3 kills, no errors on 4 attempts, so nearly perfect.
Dumped over by Rodriguez.
What awareness from Rodriguez. Everybody on the Kansas side thinking this ball is going to go to Heredia Colon, and just complete open spaces for her to dump that over. And for a player that hasn't played the setter position that long in her career, it is spectacular. That is an athlete that's saying, okay, you want me to set? Okay, I can do that.
Hey, Iono.
As I mentioned,
She hit 636 in the match against High Point.
She was the player of the match for me last night in that sweep. I mean, just the offensive production that she can provide for Kansas. You can see here talking to one of the assistant coach, Matt Worley, who's done a wonderful job, the entire coaching staff for Kansas this season.
Heredia Colon with the finish.
Heredia Colon stays on this pin throughout on that rotation to side out the Hurricanes, and she can get it going from the service line. 65 aces on the year.
Dalton sends it over to Jay-Z. Easy ball for Logan Wiley.
It was just a miscommunication on who was going to take this first ball right here between Patak and Zelenovich. An overpass, easy going there for the Hurricanes to put it away.
Just long from Heredia Colon. This is really fun to watch the two thumpers go at it.
Yeah, back to back, right?
That one's long. Chance for the Hurricanes. LeBron somehow saved that. Julia Wilson with the kill.
Oh,
good sportsmanship there to
good
Logan Bell.
For sure. And
she make sure she was okay.
Looked right over and said, I'm okay, I'm okay.
Logan Bell's about as tough as they come, too. Right back up on her feet.
Enjoyed my conversation with her earlier. I talked to her, and she was like talking to her mom, and her sister had to step in and play setter, and her mom was coaching the high school team, and she reached out to her about some advice, and she's like, I'm trying to put on my big girl pants already myself, so let me handle my stuff here. As in her freshman year at Kansas, and I loved it. She's got a great attitude about her, good spirit, great volleyball player.
LeBron puts it in play. Patak got a hand on that one. Patak scored for KU.
Yeah, Logan Bell right there to pick up that free ball. And it was his last second communication because I thought this ball was almost going to fall. Picks it up, and then in transition, What a set selection from Katie Dalton.
And let's be honest, I know you've been on the receiving end once or twice in your career. Your eyes are watering at this point too, right? I mean, you're trying to shake that off.
Well, when you get hit in the face that hard, yeah.
And an ace. Selena Laban. And Miami wants another timeout.
Oh, another 3-0 scoring run for the Kansas after they had a 5-0 scoring run in set number 1, and they looked extremely locked in. Everybody doing their part right now for the Kansas Jayhawks.
Kansas and Miami don't see each other very often on the volleyball court.
They did in the NCAA tournament, though, right? A couple years ago.
Yep. 2022, Kansas won that in straight sets. Just the third meeting ever between these two programs.
I believe that was in Nebraska, in Lincoln. And so interesting enough that one would assume, one would think if it all goes chalk, that the winner of this team would have to go and play in Lincoln.
Going chalk, you get the World Cup fever, don't you?
Well, I've seen Nebraska a couple times, and I'm not sure who's going to up in.
But you pointed out this stat to me. Neither of these teams has really been very good in this second round.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because the two storied programs and get there a lot. Kansas 3-7 in the second round, and Miami just 1-6, I believe, in the second round.
Yeah.
So this has been a bit of a hurdle for both of these programs, and both programs, though, that have been a mainstay, though, getting into the tournament. Coach Keno has done a fabulous job, certainly in his time, and when they faced Kansas last time, it was Coach Bouchard, who I think the Hall of Famer is in the crowd tonight.
I saw him walking in. He wasn't going to miss this one, was he?
He wasn't going to miss this one. Yeah, it was Jayhawk through and through. This is a hot ticket.
Ron puts it in play. Short serve. Ready Cologne from the back row. Bell is there.
You got to take the swing. I like the swing from Selena Laban, and Logan Bell, though, doing her part on the back row, settling in and digging another ball, back row attack. Kansas had an opportunity, and she went for it.
Ava Carney checks into the Miami lineup.
And she's been injured throughout the year, actually, for Miami, so good news that she's able to see the floor.
Just long, Kansas now to 20. On from the back row.
And she has done that a couple times. To seal the match at Iowa State late in the fourth set, it was one of these two-handed tip shots that comes out cleanly, but it's the vision. That is pretty. You just don't see that as much anymore in the game of volleyball, but it's that court awareness, seeing that opening.
Another good serve. Ready Cologne from the back row.
Winton going around the triple block, going right after Reese Patak, the middle blocker that just served the ball. You can see trying to get all 6 hands up there, but she still goes around the block.
Four kills early on. Dalton dumps it over. That ball just got redirected right before Feliciano made a dive.
Exactly. I do think it just did get redirected, and it mistimed how she was going to play that ball.
Milujevic, freshman from Miami, checks in. Katie Dalton. Already at Cologne. Off the back wall was her touch, yes. Matt Ulmer does not agree, I don't believe.
Oh, wow. So he was adamant about it, and so immediately goes over and says, no touch.
That thing hit halfway up on the wall. I don't know.
So on the, oh no.
The original call is touch. Kansas is challenging no touch.
Oh man, I don't think that there's a touch.
Zelenovich's right hand, perhaps. Well, you don't see anything move there. Is there enough to overturn that?
I don't know. I mean, I think I'd have to see another look because, again, just to be clear, and is there questionable, as you mentioned, with that right hand of Zelenovich. This might be the best. Yeah, that's the best look. I think that's past the hand, no touch. But that's the angle that you need to see to be able to overturn that. Either way, though, here, if you're Miami, the point goes to you, then you're like, okay, we got to just little bit increments, getting the momentum on our side because Kansas has played at such a high level in this first set.
After review, there was no touch. The call is reversed. Kansas gets the point and retains their challenge.
And Matt Ulmer was all over that one.
He did not hesitate, and that takes Kansas to 23 now.
Well, you're thinking if you're Herodias Cologne, you're going up against 6'7", and you think you got a pretty.
There should be a touch there.
Contact. Yeah, didn't actually miss it by much. Just I think on the past her right hand. You know, when she was trying to tag that hand, didn't miss it by much.
Serve is short. Back to Miami.
And when we talked to Herodias Cologne after the match yesterday, I said, after losing to Tulsa in that second set, what was the difference? She said, we just started to have more fun. And so if you're Miami right now, down in this first set, it's like try to find the joy, have more fun, start laughing. She was, I told you before the match, I was like, oh, she's over there dancing and having a good time.
She was dancing in our interview. Long from Kansas, point to Miami. She's a real treat to watch and really fun to talk to.
Oh my gosh, such a joy. And you can tell the joy that she plays with. I mean, in knowing that you're going to have to carry the load that she does, that has to be taxing on you, right? Like mentally too.
Herodias Cologne swings. Ryan White there for Kansas. Swanson puts it away. Jayhawks have set points.
Ryan Swanson has had a match so far for Kansas. And this is what Coach Ulmer said. He goes, Ryan Swanson in the tournament has got to be the player for us that can take over a match. When everybody knows the ball's going to go to her, she's going to have to find a way to get a kill, and she did just that.
Herodias Cologne. Zelenovich got a hand there. LeBon. First set goes to Kansas, 25-17.
What a performance from the Jayhawks in that first set, hitting 310 as a team, a high hitting efficiency, able to slow down the Hurricanes as well.
The Jayhawks and Hurricanes going to set number 2. Kansas with the lead here in Lawrence. The Kansas Jayhawks take the opening set over Miami, 25-17. Lee Fleisig, Jill Dorsey Hall with you from Lawrence, Kansas. What do you see out of that first set? Pretty well played by KU.
Yeah, I've had some positive touches at the plane of the net that slowed some of the offense of Miami down. Kansas, I'd say, only allowing Flor Marie to have 4 kills and then kind of controlled everybody else and did a wonderful job. But then offensively, Kansas insists on because they did not allow a Miami ace, and that has been one of the keys to Miami's success is getting on a run from the service line. So the service reception of Kansas doing their job. Katie Dalton making wonderful set selections, also getting involved offensively. And there was a couple emotional long rallies early in set 1 that I think set the tone. The crowd was involved. Everybody came alive, and that also is going to support the home team because of that environment.
See how we got here, Kansas and Miami meeting, hoping to move on to the Sweet 16. You're the best multitasker I know. You're watching Kansas State and San Diego. How's that one going?
Well, Kansas State is closing in on trying to win. They're down 2 sets to 1.
She's got 5 screens open here, folks. I'm telling you.
No, I'm locked in. It's just when there's a break.
No, I know, but you're watching. You're keeping tabs on everything for us.
When there's a break, I wish, honestly, it was more like basketball where you had matches all day long. They're all like bunched together in the evening.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the NCAA tournament. If I could change one thing, I would want it to be, it's like when March Madness comes along with basketball, it's like you know what you're going to do all day Thursday, all day Friday. I think the same should happen for volleyball, if I could give one piece of feedback.
All right, teams of flip sides. Miami in the black will serve it up. Dalton goes to Swanson, who pushes it down. Kansas scores first.
Again, another well-handled ball from the service reception core of Kansas. Selena LeBon going down, and then Ryan Swanson continuing to have a hot hand for Kansas. 4 kills, no errors on 6 attempts.
Heredia Colon powers it through the Kansas block. Her 5th kill. Long.
It's almost like you got to duck in time because that ball's coming at you in a hurry. And I don't know if the video evidence here that we have does it justice, but that ball, you got to make a split-second decision.
Ryan White to Zelenovich. Kansas by 2.
What a secondary set from Ryan White, leading Zelenovich into that. And then she quickly credits the senior libero, Ryan White, who had a spectacular match last night in that sweep. Reese Patak had told me earlier in the season that Ryan White's so inspiring because she just wants it so bad. I mean, she's locked in, has been immediate captain, and that says a lot about a first-year player into a new program to be awarded that captain duty.
LeBon down the line. Goes to Miami. Thought maybe that was going to catch the corner.
Ariana there with her foot on the line, and she's clapping on the side of Miami, trying to get her team into the second set. We saw a couple deep aces on the side of Ryan White last night, able to put it in the deepest corner of the court.
Heredia Colon from the back row.
She
let out a little yell even before that ball
a big roar,
crossed
right?
the net.
She's trying to manufacture that energy on the side of Miami. It's like, let's go, and there's a big roar. You could hear it on the replay there.
There's a little different look in her face.
As the match goes on, I think she gets better and better, right?
The attack is blocked. Wilson sent that back to the Kansas side.
Katie Dalton turns around and said to Reese Patak, "That's my fault." We wanted to locate that a bit differently.
Dalton, Zelenovich. Almost into the terrace.
Again, I think when Zelenovich is on the front row, you have to continue to feed her the ball. Give the best player you've had all year offensively to get you out of things. Get them the ball, and she can show you that heavy heat cross court.
Rodriguez dumps it over. Ryan White saves it. Kansas unable to get it over. A great effort from Ryan White.
And those are the plays that Kansas won in set number 1. Didn't go their way this way, but the all-out effort, Ryan White, wishes she had a better handle on that, but you have to love the effort.
Attack. Takes it cross court.
Logan Bell showing that ability with this service reception. Has to go down really far. And then also Katie Dalton continuing to find a slide attacker in Reese Patak.
Heredia Colon is turned back.
That's up. Yeah.
Great effort. I think that was Rodriguez who got to it. Ryan Swanson finishes it.
And that's the thing, you got to stay locked in, and it's almost an open net. Ryan Swanson's like, ooh, giddy, I don't get to see this very often. But this ball up, Ariana does not give up on that play. That was spectacular. Just couldn't get back in time to put a formidable block up. So Ryan Swanson, like that's a gift for an outside hitter.
She is a great athlete, isn't she? Right there for Kansas. Katie Dalton sends it over. Heredia Colon is blocked. Katie Dalton.
Katie Dalton having a good time tonight. I mean, showing that emotion. She had to run a long way within that rally. She set that ball, I think, from her knees that had to get up and all the way back into the block. But you can see the joy, too, that she plays with. And she said, you know what? When I'm playing loose, when I'm playing free, she's having her best time, and she's definitely having that tonight.
We really saw the sparkle, I think, in our post-match interview yesterday.
Last night.
She was really excited for this team and their opening round win over High Point.
And again, a player that's had to endure a couple injuries throughout her career, Katie Dalton, played
battling it even now.
Yeah, right now it doesn't feel probably 100% with a knee injury. Coach Ulmer said he was like, she's really toughening it out right now.
Back to Swanson. Heredia Cologne puts it away. Her total growing 7 now.
Yeah, Reese Patak quickly says that's my fault. Didn't get that left hand pressed as much as she probably wanted. I don't think the Kansas defense fully stopped in the backcourt either, but Heredia Cologne makes it difficult.
And an ace between the Kansas defenders.
And just like that, Miami with the lead, and this one right in between the seam. It's a talk of who has seams left, right? Who's going to take that ball? And that's a conversation in service reception you can constantly have to have.
Attack. Cologne was their touch. No, point Kansas. What is the rule of thumb? You're a libero on the receive. Are you're taking everything you can get to your right and left as well?
Well, I wanted to. I wanted to take left or right, right? I mean, it just depends on where you're at in rotation, who's next to you. If you have a live attacker, there's a lot of things that go into it. Also, too, tendencies of servers, where they're coming from, where do they like to go. So ask me case by case, and I can tell you.
Heredia Cologne blocked. Katie Dalton.
Well, Katie Dalton has that length and that physicality, and she's just determined not to get used or tooled off of that right hand, pressed right back into the floor. Kansas leading in that blocking category early going.
Attack serves. Back there to cover. Swanson off the hands. Logan Bell with a good pickup. Swanson. Bell with another great tip. Dalton's thought she was gonna swing there. Heredia Cologne is blocked. Iono there for Kansas. Heredia Cologne again is stopped. The crowd on its feet.
And as they should, all up on their feet. I think every player contributed along that rally. I mean, I think you said every player's name a couple of times, but Katie Dalton once again, and I think there's going to be a challenge on the side of Miami, maybe to just take a deep breath, because, man, this place was electric.
Miami is challenging net violation.
Okay, so challenging a net violation, Miami, on this point. I know where it was, because that seemed like, how long was that one, right? At that moment.
He's going to have to rewind some video here.
Earmark this point. I don't care either way, but let's see it again, shall we? Because that was fun. A pickup there, coverage from Logan Bell. I don't see a net there in question. Oh, right there, perhaps. It may be the question there on Ryan Swanson when she played that at the net, if she was in the net. Couple digs from Reese Patak within that rally. And then not to get tooled there from Katie Dalton was extremely impressive.
Great look from our Rock Chalk video
right
crew.
There is what I wonder if they're questioning.
After review, the call is confirmed. There was no net violation.
Okay.
Miami loses a challenge.
And I can understand from Coach Keno if he thought that perhaps, because that was very close on that contact from Swanson, but I didn't see enough there. I don't believe there was.
So it's Kansas by 2. Reese Patak with the ball. Bell there to cover for Kansas. Swanson swings. Good pickup from Levon. Ryan Swanson scores it for KU.
Wow, having to hang up in the air and then was wise to go over the top. We haven't seen that shot yet from Swanson. We've seen it a little bit deeper into the floor. So great switch up of shots, showing the versatility.
When you float like a feather,
yeah, right.
You've got time to do that, right?
Yeah. It's been fun to watch the evolution of Ryan Swanson, a player that didn't play a lot early on, and you saw flashes from her, but continue to stay loyal to Kansas in this day and age when sometimes if you're not getting playing time, you know, you leave a program.
Ace for Reese Patak.
And Reese Patak on a scoring run now from Kansas. Middle going here in set number 2. A skill that she did not have to lean on last year, but did it a lot in her high school career. A 5-0 scoring run. Going deep, that one's going to go long. That was a productive scoring run, though, for Kansas.
Ariana Rodriguez, the sophomore setter, will put it in play. Swanson, just long.
Yeah, I think that was long. Yeah, she had it. She didn't miss by much. I mean, that's almost over the top of the block, but just long.
Hurricanes within 2. Good serve. White takes that one. Dalton dumps it over. From the back row. Miami was ready.
Trying to keep the block off balance, and I haven't seen this from LeBron and that, but the Miami block not fooled at all. That is a disciplined block. Knowing that they had a player in that zone in Iono, so they're already over their bunch together. They just had to delay their jump a bit.
Already Cologne takes advantage, and we're even at 13.
Showing why that she's the NCAA leader in aces in the season. Ariana Rodriguez goes back there. And just like that, Miami backs up, has their own scoring run here. Now a 4-0 scoring run for their side.
Timeout for the Kansas Jayhawks as we are now even at 13. I think we saw Miami really just punch it into another gear against Tulsa yesterday. Are you starting to get the same feeling? We'll talk about that when we come back. We'll take a break here in Lawrence. 13-all, the second set on ESPN+. Even at 13 here in the second set. Already Cologne is long, no touch. Kansas back on top.
Kansas feeling grateful to get out of that rotation because Ariana Rodriguez was on a tear with her serve, and man, I guess not enough to pull another challenge because they had used one challenge and lost already.
Betty Dalton for Kansas. Right off the Kansas block, Vergara.
Vergara was a nice complimentary player yesterday in that win. You see, he gets on that ball in a hurry. Block not completely formed.
Grace Nelson. Ryan White there for Kansas. Zelinovich. Rolls it over.
Grace Nelson to even get to that first ball was impressive, and not to get into the net. Play goes on, and Zelinovich with another nice roll shot. I think credits her coaching staff for that little tip where the opening was.
Nelson's serve is long. 15-all. Zelenovich winds up down the
that's
line,
out.
but wide.
Yep. A well-formed block for Miami, and so Zelenovich not wanting to hit into it. Tries to go for the line shot. But Feliciano, left foot right on that sideline.
Iono. How big has she been for Kansas down the stretch?
Huge. The offensive production, I think that was the question for Coach Ulmer throughout the year, is we got to get another layer because Kansas is very balanced. They don't rely too heavily on one player. So to get the production from Aisha Iono, and I'd love to see Aurora Papatz, the player that she battled back and forth with, to give her a high five right when she came off.
Rede Colon is long.
And I think Miami wanting their coach to pull another challenge, but again, I think you already used one. And so I think you got to hold on to the next one because there was maybe not enough, but perhaps I thought I saw a touch on that. What about you, Lee?
Rodriguez with a perfect set. That's Wilson who puts it away. Went through a lot of limbs, that's for sure.
it did go through a lot of limbs.
On a golf course, they say a tree's 90% air, but you know, you can hear it rattle through there, right? Zelenovich. Rodriguez sent it over. I believe she was in the net.
Yeah, in the net. I can totally understand what she was trying to do there. And she's up, she's tight. Tried to hold on to it as long as she could, but I think on the follow through, yeah, right there.
Looks like Olivia Durst has checked into the Miami lineup. Zelenovich serves and tests her out right away. That's long.
What a pass from Durst. I mean, to check into the game,
right
well
off
done.
the bench.
I always have to call that out, right? Like coming in, and that was perfect. Had what they wanted. It was just an attack long.
Durst again. Rede Colon is blocked. Great effort on the Miami side, but it's going to be point Kansas, and the Jayhawks are at 20.
Reese Patak closing that seam with that left paw of hers. And Miami not able to run it down. A little mini 3-0 scoring run for the Jayhawks.
Zelenovich, another big serve. Laban takes advantage. Jayhawks by 4.
And what Selena Laban does here is wisely doesn't try to go right into, she slices it just last second, thumb down. And I love the connection there between Zelenovich and Laban, knowing that, hey, you were the one that produced that overpass, and she was the one that put it away. A 4-0 scoring round to run now for the Jayhawks to get some bit of separation here in set number 2.
We're really starting to see the full focus of Laban's game too, aren't we?
Yeah, and the player that, you know, it's been a bit of a carousel for Kansas outside hitter-wise. We've seen Grace Nelson play outstanding, Selena Laban, Ryan Swanson, and Coach Ulmer is not afraid to do a variety within the match, within the set either. And so that's what can make it a bit tricky too from the opponent, because you just don't know, okay, now she's saying this is a different player that likes to do different things from a skill set perspective, but Selena Laban has that international experience in her freshman campaign, showing off that international flair of football, right? With the kick save. And also providing the one ace for the Jayhawks, and the just savvy player. And then taking care of that overpass. And that was the question, is Miami has the servers to get on service runs between Rodriguez and Rede Colon. Kansas does it from Zelenovich most of the time, getting it done. And right now, Kansas is doing it with their best server back on the service line, a 4-0 scoring run. And Heredia Cologne for Miami on the back row. Now we've seen time and time again her still be able to get kills from the back row.
She's a threat from anywhere. Zelenovic, have a good serve. Off the Kansas hands, that's Carney.
And Carney, first kill of the match for her. Gets on that block before it's fully pressed over the net. And a big side out, right out of that timeout for the Hurricanes.
Just off the tape, Dalton. Laban.
Yeah, that's out. And we've seen this in set number 2 where one team has got a set of points and then right back the other team then gets a group of points. And so it'll be interesting to see if Kansas is able to side out here.
Attack.
Nope.
No touch, point Miami.
Yep.
Now I think the Jayhawks want a timeout.
Yeah, I think so.
Zelenovic out of the match for Kansas at the moment, and Miami
exactly.
trying to take advantage.
And Heredia Cologne on the front row. So you got to find you think you got to find a way to first ball side out. And so Miami with a 3-0 scoring run on their side right now.
What has Miami been able to take advantage of here to get within 1 in the second set?
A bit of a miscue. I mean, that was the attacking error. So it's, I mean, who can play cleaner volleyball for a longer period of times? And now also too, you add this added element is as you close in on a set and you're in that red zone and you're nearing in, it's hard not to think about it because it's right there. And it's like, okay, just 1 point. And so who can be steady? And that is something that every coach we talk about, right, is that mental aspect of the game of volleyball. It's like taking a deep breath and moving on from the next play. It's like you can't change that. Be where your feet are. Next play mentality. It's not been either team in second set has not hit at a high clip here. So it has been a battle. And if you got to think, if you're Miami, you were just down 21-17. If you were able to come back here in this second set when you thought that Kansas was going to run away from it, that would be a big time comeback on the road, not to go down 2-0.
Ava Carney is third.
Ava Carney will put it in play. Attack.
No, too tight.
And now we're even at 21.
And so it's a 2-hitter system right now for Kansas. So Katie Dalton's on the front row. That has been a bread and butter play for Kansas all season long on the slide. But what player, who's going to get you out of this rotation if you're Kansas?
Attack. Good save by Rodriguez. Laban. Big point for Kansas, 22-21.
Selena Laban to serve.
Laban with the serve. Heredia Cologne. White was there for Kansas. Katie Dalton is having a night.
How in the world, at that angle, backpedaling, it was almost all that she could do. Somehow, some way. It starts with this dig from Ryan White, but this attack from Katie Dalton. I'll try to hit that 9 times out of 10.
Already with 6 blocks on the night, a career high.
Career high, yeah. And it's been fun to talk to her as a guest on Hawk Talk earlier this season. And Katie Dalton said she's having a good time. Her last year here at Kansas and an opportunity that she's taken full advantage of. 16 assists already in this match, as you mentioned, 6 blocks as well. leading the way for Kansas in that category. Also 5 digs, a player that we've seen as a defensive specialist throughout her career at Kansas, coming in as a serving specialist. And this year running a 5-1, but I was also went back and forth between a 6-2 system between Kristen Klein and her, a 5-1 with her. But I like this time out from Miami. You're not out of this right here, but having a good laugh there with Matt Worley, who was the coach actually at Baylor. It was 14-13, and Katie Dalton sealed that 5-set win on the road, and Matt Worley said, hey, the dump's open, and it was Katie Dalton putting away on second contact to win a big road match in Waco.
Selena LeBon will have the ball, Kansas. Leading by 2 points away from the second set. Rodriguez, line white there for Kansas. Swanson. Jayhawks now with set points.
Ryan White made another play on the back row for the Jayhawks. I mean, that is just getting down, scooping it up, fantastic technique. Somehow gets 2 hands on it. That was spectacular.
Ready Cologne swings. Swanson. That splits the Kansas defense. You can hear Heredia Cologne call for it.
Yeah, she wanted that ball, no doubt. Like, feed me the ball, get me the ball, put it away. 5 kills in set number 2, but interesting. 9 kills in this match, but 9 errors. Dahlia Wilson, middle blocker, digging the ball.
Watch
That's
it.
out.
That's wide.
Yep.
And Kansas takes the second set, 25-22.
Kansas able to grit out the second set. Either team could have won that one, but Kansas up 2-0 here in the second round. Trying to punch a ticket to the Sweet 16.
We've got a good one in Lawrence. The hometown Jayhawks with the lead. Third set coming your way next on ESPN+. Kansas with a 2-0 lead over Miami here in Lawrence, Kansas. The Horish Family Volleyball Arena sits right next to Allen Fieldhouse here in Lawrence, and that historic building not lost on Miami assistant Eric Johnson, who's in the middle of the huddle right now. He is from Springfield College, won 2 national championships at Springfield College. Springfield College in Massachusetts was home to Dr. James Naismith. Dr. James Naismith had a protege named William Morgan, who
invented the game of volleyball.
How about that?
Hey.
The less strenuous alternative to basketball.
Oh, come on.
You don't
it's
buy that,
strenuous.
do you?
I don't buy that for a minute.
But they were together at Springfield College, and Eric Johnson was looking up
where the statue was, right?
Dr. Naismith's statue. He wanted to see it because of his history at Springfield, and good on him for knowing his history and knowing part of it. He actually interned at Sporting Kansas City, the soccer program in Kansas City, and loved his time in the Midwest.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Eric Johnson. Great to see you. Our friend Lori Bolick came up with that. She's not only runs the NCAA site here, but she's also associate producer apparently.
Finding
she's
nuggets.
coming up with story
exactly.
ideas for us. So thank you very much for that. But the Kansas Jayhawks with a 2-0 lead over Miami. How have the Jayhawks been able to do it?
A lot of Katie Dalton magic, I think, in this match. So far, the player of the match for the Jayhawks. And you see Reese Patak go to work. It's been a number of players for the Jayhawks. Miami came back after Kansas went up 21-17 in that second set. Miami went on a little bit of a run on their own, but it was the focus at the end of the match from the Jayhawks that propelled them to a 2-0 victory. And it was early going. It was Kansas showing a lot of grit and effort defensively. Katie Dalton having a career match, though, from a defensive perspective. That is the ball that ended the second set. A disciplined block from the Jayhawks. Neither team hitting wonderful in that second set, but Kansas able to hold Miami to negative hitting efficiency in set number 2. Also, Flor Marie Heredia Cologne, 9 kills, 10 errors, so hitting negative in this match. Kansas doing a wonderful job defensively.
There's our friend Lori Bolick, who worked so hard to set up this site here in Lawrence. Apparently looking up another story idea
She
for
is.
us.
I bet she
She's
is.
resourcing it right now, so we appreciate the help, and she does a great job running the NCAA tournament here on site. Lily Witkowski and the KU Sports Information staff also do a tremendous job. It's a huge job to host. Saw Macy Palmer sitting next to
Katie Dalton to serve.
Lori there, the Sports Information Associate Director
She's
at
been
Miami.
wonderful, yeah.
Yes. Great people to work with. We're on third set is underway. Ready, Cologne off Katie Dalton. Miami scores first.
I think the player, though, that got you here, you got to go with her constantly through this third set. Backs against the wall. Quickly picks up that 10th kill. First in the match to register double-digit kills.
Ready, Cologne. Zelenovic sends it back. Grace Nelson with a nice save. Off Jay-Z and out of play. Heredia Cologne scores it. She's into double-digit kills now.
Having to work here in transition. This ball almost looking like it was going to get to her left shoulder, but wisely completely swipes the block. Exactly what she wanted to do on that attack. Different lineup now here for Miami.
Njai is in the lineup for the Hurricanes for the first time. Shout out to Olivia Durst, too. The freshman
Totally.
has played
She
very
has
well for
played
Miami, being inserted in that lineup.
Very well in the back row.
Ready, Cologne with a thump scored for the Hurricanes.
And I think as the match goes on, it almost seems like she gets warmed up a bit more, and it's even more velocity, interesting enough, because she's already taken 42 attempts in this match.
Attack is blocked. And now some emotion from the Miami side as Logan Wiley gets the block.
There's the fire that we saw from Miami in set number 3, similar against Tulsa last night when they were finding themselves down. It was tied 1-1. They really picked up their level of intensity on their side of the court.
Zelenovic is blocked. Ava Carney.
Ava Carney, feeling and sensing that their middle blocker was not going to get there in time, wisely goes ahead and covers up that seam, a hole in the block that Zelenovic thought she had.
Low from Heredia Cologne. It'll go over to Kansas. Zelenovic with a good serve. Carney sends it deep. Grace Nelson there for Kansas. Attack got a hand on that one. No touch, point KU. Zelenovic serves. Ready, Cologne from the back row.
And that violation, I think it went LeBron. And even from the back row, I think she was even the player that at first contact, I think it was on the descent. I think it was going to be a kill either way, though.
Attack. Ready Colon is sent back. Rodriguez with a great play to save it. Logan Bell on the floor. Ready Colon with a finish.
I like the dance move afterwards too. Watch this as this play goes on, continuing and then flying in from the back row. Watch this little shimmy. Yep.
We saw that last night after the interview, didn't we?
And that's the thing. I said, what was the difference? She's like, when we start to have fun on our side, that's when good things happen. And so why not try to infuse the fun after a good play?
Swanson off the hands and out of play. Jayhawks within one.
Ryan Swanson, one of the best matches I've seen her play in her career. It's been high efficiency for her. 9 kills, just 1 error, 364 on the outside. Only on the floor for 3 rotations, but when Kansas needs to get out of a jam, it seems to be Ryan Swanson throughout the night.
I don't know, got a hand on that one. Swanson swings, it's wide.
I missed that one. Coach Ulmer over there talking to his senior right afterwards. I think the message is move on, next play. Just a little bit of words of advice.
Swanson, was there a touch? The Jayhawks think so.
I didn't see it live.
Matt
but
Ulmer's going to challenge.
Well, pretty evident because he was.
Kansas is challenging block touch.
You see it there? Middle blocker, Dahlia Wilson.
I don't know, the Jayhawks responded immediately, and Matt Ulmer was off the bench
That middle
pretty quickly.
The left hand,
Yeah.
I believe, is what would be
hard to
right
tell
there.
there, yeah.
I'm not sure.
Does the hand go back just a little bit after that ball goes through?
You look for the trajectory of the ball. Does it change spin at all? Little things. This could be a key moment in the match, though. As the way it stands right now, Miami up to a 3-point lead in this third set. Also an opportunity for Coach Ulmer to speak to his team. He's talked a lot about managing emotions and working through sets, and again, it's how to sustain the high level of play throughout an entire match. And man, Kansas early on in this season, and they went the distance, didn't they? They were completely tested. 14 straight matches on the road. They went 5 against Vanderbilt, Penn State, Wisconsin, Creighton. That was their first 4 matches out of the gate, all 5 sets.
Did that steal this team, get them ready for what they're seeing right now, you think?
Maybe, right? I mean, you hope so. Certainly.
Quality competition on the road, some really tight losses early on.
They also lost at Purdue in 5.
Our Rock Chalk video crew giving you every look
After
at it.
review, the call stands. There wasn't sufficient evidence.
I didn't think so either.
Kansas will lose a challenge.
It actually was the wrong player. I think that it was more in question on Rodriguez. Did it hit her hands? She has a pretty big smile on the front row right now.
Ava Carney will put it in play now with a 3-point advantage. Ryan Swanson.
Teammates, best friends, roommates, that connection right there is strong between Katie Dalton and Ryan Swanson.
19th time this season she's had 10 plus kills. Already a Cologne with an absolute shot down the line.
It's starting to heat up, and her team needs it.
We were talking about their match against Tulsa, and I think I asked you in that third set, did they find another gear somewhere? Did they?
Well, Heredia Cologne did.
Yeah.
She had 15 of the 18 kills in set number 3 yesterday herself.
Jovanovic got a hand on that one. scored for Rodriguez.
Showing the skills of a hitter as she used to be as an attacker, and just a couple of years ago moved to the setter position, looking extremely comfortable on that attack. I like the sleep flex with the Olympic rings on her forearm. That's nice. No big deal. She's already played in the Olympics, right?
From the back row, Grace Nelson. It's long. Brady Colon told us yesterday that not only are she and Rodriguez teammates on the national team, their moms played together on the national team.
Needless to say that they've known each other for a long time. I said it looks like a strong connection.
That's long from Laban. Miami opening up a 5-point advantage, and Kansas wants a timeout. A break in the action here in the third set. Miami with the lead, trailing 2-0 here in Lawrence. Miami with the lead here in the third set. We're seeing a little more variety, if you will, from the Hurricanes in this second round match than we did in the first round.
Only 7 players played last night in the match against Tulsa. Today, with backs against the wall, I do appreciate Coach Keno saying, okay, let's see different players coming in. 10 players already in this match.
Aisha Iono always seems to come up with a crucial point for Kansas. Zelenovic. Back to Herida Cologne. Ryan White is there.
Touch. Wow.
Kansas gets the touch.
There was a touch. Wow. I didn't know if I saw it. Let's take a little look at this.
Ryan White puts it in play. Herida Cologne with a changeup. 16 kills.
Finishes up here with a little dance move.
Long from Herida Cologne.
This is where Kansas has to make their move. The service of Zelenovic in that second set. This is where they started to get a little bit of a separation on this rotation.
Zelenovic with a big serve. Grace Nelson saves it. Selena Laban.
A tremendous set here from Katie Dalton. A wonderful rundown from Grace Nelson tracking that ball down, but the push out from Katie Dalton. And Selena Laban gets on the ball in a hurry.
Dalton sends it over. Rodriguez with a great pancake. Reese Patak. Feliciano was there. Zelenovic is long.
Great rally from both sides here. The pickup, the pancake from Rodriguez, not fooled at all. And now a couple back row attacks now from the Jayhawks going long. Again, I get it, trying to keep the defense, the block, a bit off balance as much as you can, getting players hitting from different zones. But a missed opportunity there for the Jayhawks.
Logan Bell into the Kansas lineup. Luciano to serve. Selena Laban, 7 kills.
Wonderful tempo out of the hands from Katie Dalton. I think she was almost falling backwards on that.
Ava Carney off the Kansas block.
She's one of the changes that we've seen from Miami, and it's been working and she's going, aggressive swings that we've seen a number of times now, tooling the block.
Ryan Swanson. Kansas looking for a touch, but none called.
Now Kansas in this set hitting negative right now, so it's just a couple errors on their side of the court. We've seen miscues, hitting balls deep and out.
Imjai, the freshman, serves it long. Ryan Swanson for Kansas.
Well, the pickup from Reese Patag. The player, the middle blocker, playing defense here, right behind Katie Dalton, knowing exactly where her outside is as well.
Just great all-around skills, right? Back to serve, down 2. Carney swings. Bell was there. Already Cologne from the back row. It's long. Kansas within 1.
Feliciano, I think, thought there was a touch, but I didn't see one there.
Off the hands of Iono.
Yeah, Ava Carney once again gets Miami out of that rotation. They needed it. That stops a 3-0 scoring run from Kansas.
Her third kill, but they've all been 3 big kills.
They all big kills, yeah. Exactly. It feels a bit more as I was looking at the stats. It feels like she's had more.
Ryan Swanson makes something out of that one.
Well, this one, as you mentioned, takes a little bit off of it, and the block just couldn't press with that left hand.
Better go back over to Miami now. Wilson with ball in hand. Iono. Her 4th kill, but all of those have been big kills.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, even if you don't get a lot of opportunities, it's making the most of it. Naisha Iono, with her match yesterday and then once again today, 4 kills now still without an error.
Ready Cologne. Iono was there. Zelinovic sends it back. Ryan White there for Kansas. Somehow, Pabon kept that up. Jayhawks all over the floor. Ryan White for KU. Zelinovic. This one will come to an end with Miami winning that point. Hard earned.
And yet another one. You talk about the freshman DS that has done a wonderful job for Miami. She was the player that picked up that ball within that rally. Olivia Durst, on the back row, and play goes on, and everybody had to take a deep exhale after that one.
Rodriguez serves long. Kansas back within 1. The Horace crowd on its feet. Heredia Cologne off the Kansas block.
Another first ball side out here from the Hurricanes. Now off of that left hand of the Kansas block. And change up there, a little jump float action.
Attack is blocked.
What a big block from the Hurricanes there. Timeout now from the Jayhawks because this was a huge stop. Closing that seam. That was a big time play from Logan Wiley.
Miami with a 3-point advantage in this third set.
Feels like a big separation, doesn't it? Holding Kansas to .032 in this third set. Miami .237. So it's about a 200-point differential, and you're going to like the signs of that. 8 kills already in this third set alone from Heredia Cologne. And she went back and sort of a jump float, so she decided to shy away from the topspin that we've seen her serve with oftentimes. But 13 errors on the service line for Miami, just 1 ace.
Heredia Cologne, as great players do, starting to really step up when Miami needs her most.
Down 2-0, said I'm not going to go away quietly here in her senior year, knowing this is a huge opportunity here for her to, as you mentioned, take over this third set.
All right, we're in the JDH red zone here. What do you expect out of Miami here, the run to 25?
I think you got to keep giving her the ball, even in the back row. Heredia Cologne, I mean, she's back there serving, but continuing to get her the ball. The question is Kansas on this side out. Where do you go? You have 3 live attackers. You have Reese Patak, Selena Laban on the outside, and Zelenovich on the right side.
Reese Patak scores it for KU.
And so the play before, they did a little bit more of a gap set, like a 3-ball, able to close the seam. This time more of a one-on-one, straight tempo, a fastball. And so this allowed for more of a one-on-one opportunity. Good change up there from Katie Dalton to move that play.
Zelenovich serves. Laban takes advantage. Jayhawks within 1. And now Miami wants a timeout.
And once again, choosing to go deep into the floor on the overpass kill, the overpass opportunity. It doesn't go down as an ace. Kansas just with 1 ace, but there's been a number of times where there's been overpass opportunity kill putaways that Kansas has taken advantage of. A lot of it off the serve of Zelenovich.
Jayhawks locked in their huddle. That's about the strategy for Miami. What about for the Jayhawks?
Well, first things first, Zelenovich, go back there, serve aggressive, serve in though. You know, I mean, we've seen so many times over the course of timeout and then ice the server, point to the coach, right? Because you call that timeout. Kansas is talking right now on who's on the front row, what are they going to do? Obviously, you can never lose sight of Heredia Cologne. She's on the back row right now for the Hurricanes.
Zelenovich will serve. Down 1. Diani in the match for Miami now. Along that front row. Zelenovich with the serve. Ava Carney, the big kill for the Hurricanes.
Huge. As we mentioned, she checked in the second set, and A has been big time. The timely kills when the Hurricanes needed to get out of that rotation. And
an ace from Feliciano, and it's set points for the Hurricanes.
I just mentioned just one ace up until that point, but what a big second ace for the side of Miami late in the third set.
Reese Patak. One set point save.
That one paints the back line.
Selena Laban now for Kansas. Dalton was there. Dalton got a hand on that one. Dive from Ryan Swanson. Can't get there. And it's Miami with a 25-22 win in this third set. Settle in, we're going to 4. Miami trailing 2-1 here in Lawrence. Hall of Fame coach Ray Bouchard among the sellout crowd here inside the Horse Family Volleyball Arena. Retired after last season. Turning the program over to Matt Ulmer, and Hall of Fame coach, Hall of Fame guy there. Take a look at this third set for us, JDH, and Miami finding another gear to get back in this match.
And it was a lot of Heredia Cologne right out the outset, the first kill of the set, and she continued on. 8 kills when her team had the backs against the wall, down 2-0. Also, I think Ava Carney provided a spark for the Hurricanes. A couple different players getting involved that we didn't see in the first 2 sets. So credit Coach Keno and his coaching staff for not being afraid to switch it up when things weren't working. That was a big kill off the high hands from Ava Carney, and then late into that set, the second ace of the match of Feliciano, and certainly the libero for Miami, the senior, does not want to go be this her last match of her career. A fiery player.
Miami leading from start to finish in that third set. They're ready to begin the fourth. Hurricanes will serve it up. Iono is blocked. Heredia Cologne celebrating. Swanson. I think that one got Wilson on the top of the head. Maybe Dalton for Kansas. Heredia Cologne. We talked about her third set.
But again, I think when you think of your Kansas, it's a broken play completely. I mean, that's your setter going back, just saying, put it up, giving her space, and she still finds a way. Lightning fast arm swing.
Ryan Swanson. Zelenovich. Good pickup from Durst. That was off the Kansas hands, point Miami.
As I mentioned, Durst, I think the infusion, I mean, that's one of the players for Miami that they brought into the match, and she did exactly what she needed to do. Dig a ball and right back, play goes on, and then let Heredia Cologne do her thing.
And an ace. Dahlia Wilson.
And you have LeBron wanting to take that seam because Ryan Swanson is a live attacker trying to get out to her touch point.
Swanson. Swanson again.
And a smart shade down the line. It was almost of a recycle of a play from Ryan Swanson. And she's doing her part when she's on the front 3 rows. That's a big hitting efficiency for her. 14 kills, hitting .303.
Rodriguez dumps it over. Iano got a hand on it. Luciano covers for Miami. Play goes on. Ryan White with a nice dig. Grace Nelson from the back row. Ready Colon is blocked. He goes into those stands. I think Matt Ulmer was ready for a challenge there, but he doesn't need it now.
Yeah, and the play before, Zlinovic was frustrated with herself on the blocking that she did against Heredia Cologne. But watch this adjustment. And this is a lot of emotion. You don't see that often from Zlinovic, but she lets out a loud roar to her team after that play.
Chiono with a big sky hook.
Ryan White right here, first pass, a dime. Miami is very used to getting going on Ariana Rodriguez's serve. Not able to do so in that rotation.
Ryan White with the dig. Zlinovic. Laban.
It's really hard to read Laban when she attacks. I actually thought she was going to go cross court the whole way, and so look at this, her body's facing that, but the look away there, it makes it difficult to defend.
Patak got a hand on that one. Patak. Luciano with the save. Patak again.
Oh, what a risky set from Katie Dalton. I think that's the way she's got to go out. She's like, I'm going to go ahead and take risk like that. You got to in a matchup like this.
Heredia Cologne. If Miami makes this comeback, I think it can point back to the second set. Remember when she was trying to get her team
and she was dancing.
More emotional, and she was dancing and getting her team into it, and they really feed off that. She sends it back to Kansas. Zlinovic with a good serve. Dalton dumps it over. Rodriguez was there. Ryan White for Kansas. Zlinovic. Laban swings. Mushko Diniana.
Yeah, another player from Miami that didn't see early in this match, but you see they're providing the block in place of Vergara.
Track. Patak went for the tip.
Feliciano serving.
Attack.
And Coach Ulmer, right after that play, told Katie Dalton to run her more on the natural side, to go out there and try to get that one-on-one to swipe the hands, not a quick ball right behind. And so the change-up of set.
Attack with 9 kills. Short serve. Ryan Swanson for Kansas.
Has been so good at shutting it down with her block throughout her career. That is one thing. If she doesn't get a kill, she can provide a block.
Jayhawks take the lead here in the fourth. Reese Patak.
And Reese Patak lets out a loud roar. Look at that. I mean, such good eye work. Ball setter, ball hitter. It's such a difficult position to play. The middle blocker is so much to keep track of.
Another effective serve. Katie Dalton.
Katie Dalton adding to her career high in blocks. Why not? And so they serve it to Heredia Cologne. She's out of that play then. Selena LeBon effectively continuing to serve that short ball.
Heredia Cologne from the back row. Says enough of that.
It's the roar for me right afterwards. I mean, sometimes even while she's attacking, she does it.
Attack. Kansas by 3.
And Coach Ulmer quickly says, nice pass, Logan. That's the freshman, Logan Bell. And then the set, a beautiful connection. Wonderful execution on the side of Kansas to get out of that rotation.
And an ace.
We'll talk about a loud roar. That's Reese Patak.
Ryan Swanson. Now the Jayhawks are feeling it. Timeout, Miami. The Jayhawks with a 14-9 lead here in the fourth set in Lawrence. The Kansas Jayhawks with a 14-9 lead here in the fourth set, but the Jayhawk bench making sure they're moving on, right?
You can see Erica Chittister-Dillard choosing next one, moving on, you know, and points right over to Selena LeBon talking about what's next.
Heredia Cologne.
And that ends a 3-0 scoring run. Kansas had an opportunity. But yeah, that one is perfectly placed. And Heredia Cologne now checks on the front row. These are going to be critical rotations for Kansas.
Swanson. Feliciano there for Miami. Heredia Cologne. Logan Bell with the stab. Dalton couldn't save it, and Miami within 3 now.
The crowd's starting to get a bit antsy now here in Horace Family Volleyball Arena, up, but now starting to stand on their feet, trying to make some noise.
Swanson swings. Kansas to 15.
And again, I mentioned this earlier in the match, but Ryan Swanson was going to have to be that player for Kansas. And she has done that. She has provided that in this match.
Heredia Cologne. 23 kills.
When interesting in the offseason, Heredia Cologne had actually transferred to Florida, and then she came back, and I asked Coach Keno about it, and he said, I do my best with my student athletes. We had a good relationship, no harm, no foul, and I think that says a lot about how they departed from one another. And he's like, that's one of the things about it. He's like, I treat my players well, I treat them with respect, and if she wanted to go do that, but then she went back to Miami, and I think that says a lot.
She's looking for that national championship, right?
And many would argue that Miami did enough. They upended Pitt, who's one of the #1 seeds, to host, not given it. And he didn't really want to talk a lot about it. He's like, you got to move on from it. And
Feliciano for Miami. Grace Nelson. Dalton with an attempt. There's point Hurricanes.
Feliciano with the up. I think LeBron thought she had the seam, but Feliciano, the libero, sits right into the seam. Now I think just a spot where players had dove and don't want any slick spots, no injuries, certainly.
It's warm inside Horse. I don't know if it's Miami warm, but it's warm.
It's warm. Yeah, I know, right? They had a really cold road trip here coming into Kansas, some frigid temperatures this week.
Wide from Heredia Cologne.
She has 74 attempts. 74.
We asked her last night after the match, how do you rebound after that? I'll be ready.
I'll be ready, yeah. It was no concern on her part.
It's a lot of swings. LeBron.
Good defense from Rodriguez.
LeBron. Zelenovic. Heredia Cologne continues her run. Good serve. Scored for Ava Carney.
Yeah, that's the most heat we have seen from Heredia Cologne within that serve. And so it was a bit of a broken play on the side of Kansas. Miami able to dig that ball up, turn defense into offense on their side.
Another good serve. Dalton to attack. Sent back. Logan Wiley, the sophomore middle, makes it 17 all.
Diving into the angle, that's knowing players' tendencies, exactly where Reese Patak wants to go back on that quick ball in front of the setter. And now a 3-0 scoring run from the side of Miami. Kansas had the lead in set number 3. It was Miami then to grab that momentum. And just like 14-9, Kansas had the lead, and now all tied up, 17 apiece.
Heredia Cologne really finding her strike back there on behind the line.
Yeah,
now.
every close play, it seemed to be the longer rallies. Miami's been winning those as of late here in set number 4. And now the crowd isn't as alive and active. It just was that short, maybe 10 minutes ago when it was lively. There was a timeout. Kansas was up 14-9. You're thinking maybe an opportunity to run away from it, but not so fast.
Tight as you can get it here in the 4th set.
As 6 tie scores, 3 lead changes. And in the second set where Kansas was able to win it, there was 13 tie scores, 6 lead changes. So feeling a bit similar to set number 2, where Kansas was able to grit out that win. The difference here is that Kansas still has the advantage, 2-1 lead. Miami, knowing that they go home if they're able to close out set number 4.
Good timeout from Kansas.
Good timeout.
Now Zelenovich goes back to serve for KU. Reese Patak. Point
Got a
KU.
touch. Interesting. Man, I didn't think anybody was even close to that.
Miami players are up in arms.
And Rodriguez tells her team, turns around and says, just calm down. We have a challenge. We're going to challenge it. It's okay.
Miami is challenging no touch on that play.
Oh, wow. What do you got, partner? I'm going to give this one to you. The ring finger? Do you see that?
Sure looked like
the
it,
pinky? I don't think you can overturn that. Man, oh man. We've had a couple close calls, haven't we?
We have. Another great look from our Rock Chalk video crew. The left hand of Ava Carney.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I still think I see the... We get a little pinky action? What do we got there?
I think Ava Carney's the only one who knows for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to ask her after the match.
I know Ariana Rodriguez did not think so.
No, I don't think anybody on Miami did.
After review, the call is reversed. There was no touch. Miami will keep their challenge.
Okay.
Big point for Miami.
Wow.
Remember that one.
And keep in mind, Feliciano was a player that went back and registered an ace late in that third set.
Attack. Dalton's going to swing. Laban. Rodriguez there to cover. Dalton kept that up. Point Kansas.
I didn't see a touch on that. Now, it'll be interesting to see, did Coach Keno see enough on that to go use the challenge? He just got that one back. Wow.
Laban to serve for Kansas. Ace.
The bottom absolutely fell out of that ball. I actually thought one of the teammates on Miami, I could hear, I don't know who it was, you could hear out very loud and clear, and that ball just dropped.
Big swing from Ava Carney. Canes within one.
I think that's Radio Cologne yelling for Carney on that with some enthusiasm.
There's Godiani. Long. Attack puts it in play. Right through the Kansas block is Ava Carney, who's getting a lot of playing time here.
Yeah, came into this match with 128 kills, but only 46 total sets played. So I know has battled some injuries throughout the year, but man, has provided the offense when Heredia Cologne was on the back row, and now Heredia Cologne on the front row.
That serve is long. The Jayhawks 3 points away from this match. Swanson. Rodriguez runs it down. Iono there for Kansas. Just wide.
Somehow, Dahlia Wilson, has to turn and just use the hand of Iono. Gets just enough of it.
Zelenovic brings Kansas to the win 2.
So calm, cool, and collected, isn't she?
I think she's enjoying this.
I think she is too. I think everybody is here, right? This is a battle of 4 and 5, back and forth.
Grace Nelson. Good serve. Ready Cologne. Brings Miami within 1. 25 kills.
On 78 attempts. The lion's share. No surprise, right? Coming in. Can you slow her down? Hitting 1.128. So not a super high clip.
Laban. Long. We're even at 23.
But what a serve. What a serve. This ball was even barely up here from Grace Nelson.
Now Kansas wants a timeout.
And this is where Coach Matt Olmer talked about with his team. He said, we got to learn how to manage the emotions, right? And working through and right here, right now, right? Who's going to close this out and make some big plays for their team? Miami's either going to force it to a 5th, or Kansas, see if they can get it done here in the 4th set. First things first, I think Kansas is going to have to take the best server in the NCAA, leads the nation in aces, and pass the ball. First things first.
Somebody's season ends tonight. You've been on the floor in these tournaments. The finality of that, is that looming over you at any point, or are you just so wrapped
not
up in
at
the
this
match?
point. I think that you can't even let yourself think that. It'll hit you right after, however it goes, right? If it's a loss, it'll certainly hit you immediately after.
See how close this set has been. 8 ties, 3 different lead changes.
So Kansas has Talina Laban on the outside. Katie Dalton is back row. So they have Iono in the middle, likes to run a quick ball typically. And then Zelenovic on the right side. Keep in mind though, Zelenovic is going up against Heredia Cologne, the matchup there that's been fun all night long. And then the best server in the NCAA going back with the ball in her hands.
Ariana Rodriguez. Nelson takes it. Iono is blocked. Logan Wiley takes the Canes to set point.
Oh, what a job here, this block. It's tendencies for the Kansas attackers. They'd like to hit back in, thumb down into that angle. So once again, it's one to scout it, but it's another thing to actually be able to execute. It was a good pass from Kansas. They had the pass they wanted.
Zelenovich. We're even at 24.
Oh, Grace Nelson once again handles the ball, and then I think that's who you have to give the ball to, is Zelenovich, right? Give her an opportunity at 6'7".
Ryan White will serve it for KU. Already Cologne. Gives Miami another set point.
And I think if you're Fleur Marie, you let this rip. Why not, right? You have the advantage here.
$25 all.
Again, Kansas has their go-to server, Zelenovich, seeing if she can get it done from the service line.
Who would you want with the ball if you're KU? Zelenovich to serve. Dalton. Rodriguez saved it. Heredia Cologne from the back row. No touch. The Jayhawks have a match point.
Well, this ball let her end it really far, and no touch from the Kansas block, and a timeout now on the side of Miami. Kansas with the advantage.
Timeout Miami.
And keep in mind, Miami's holding on to that challenge over there, so holding on to it to see if they need to pull it here. Zelenovich going back there. Aggressive server. I think the message is go back there and rip it.
There's not much hold back in her.
I don't think so either. It's all gas, no brake, right?
The Jayhawks trying to get into that regional semifinal for the first time since 21. Regardless of the outcome of this match, I think if you're on the KU side, you've got to say what a success for Matt Ulmer in his first season.
Year. Yeah, I mean, again, not a lot of returners for both of these teams. I think Miami, they were questioning what did they have returning, what did they have coming back. Kansas with a new coach, players that were maybe on the roster for the Jayhawks, but not in these significant roles. Talking about Ryan Swatson, Katie Dalton. Reese Patak was the player in the lineup, but they lost their starting libero to a knee injury, Kansas did. Insert Ryan White, the transfer. Zelenovich new. Grace Nelson played on and off last year, but you increase what you're asking them to do.
Jovana Zelenovich.
Zelenovich has that international experience as well.
Match point in her hands. Laban. Point Kansas. The Jayhawks are going to the Sweet 16.
The third time of hosting the Kansas Jayhawks, heartbreaking finishes. 2 years ago to Penn State in the 5th set. Last year to Florida, heartbreaking, but not this year. Able to get it done in the 4th set. Wow, what an epic match. Kansas gritty. Question maybe the 14 matches on the road to start the season. New head coach Matt Ulmer, but he has proven time and time again in his time in Oregon, now at Kansas, what a coaching job that he has done. What a gritty performance. from Kansas to be able to slow down and face one of the best players in the country in Marie Heredia Cologne. And the crowd had a lot to do with it. This atmosphere in Kansas, electric. Ended it on a 3-0 scoring run. It was Selena LeBon with the kill to finish it off. It didn't even have to go 5 sets. Kansas, 5 sets, a lot in their season, but one to celebrate here in the 4th set. And they're jumping up and down. Wow, what a special, you got to focus on the weekend, right? First and second rounds, it's all you can focus on. Able to do that. And I think Coach Ulmer's looking in the crowd, maybe wanted to give a shout out to Coach Ray Bouchard, perhaps is who he's looking for. But we're going to be joined by senior outside hitter Ryan Swanson. Ryan, what a night for you in your senior year. 15 kills, hitting .263. You were locked in the whole night when your team needed it. What was your mentality going into this match?
Again, as it's been every single year, just playing together as a team, as one. I mean, we all needed to do our jobs individually, and we knew that, so.
We're going to let you celebrate for just a second. We'll bring you back, okay? we want Ryan Swanson.
Yeah, this is the last time she's going to be able to.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, excuse us, Ryan. Let's just enjoy that for a second,
exactly,
shall we?
Yeah, and you got to love the tradition. The crowd is all joining together with this Jayhawk team because, again, as I mentioned, heartbreaking losses the last 2 years in the 5th set by just 2, right? And so to be able to close it out in the 4th set, when many probably in the country questioned Kansas hosting with 10 losses, makes you kind of wonder, but they show that they played a tough schedule. They show that they did enough to be able to host, and what a gritty performance. And they're enjoying this moment right here. Ryan White, also the libero for Kansas. I do have to credit her. 18 kills for the senior libero. The captain, Katie Dalton, too. Fantastic. A career high with 7 blocks, the senior setter. She was nearing a triple-double. She had 39 assists, 8 digs, 7 blocks for Katie Dalton. Coach Matt Ulmer and his wife, Kara, enjoying that moment together. And now we're going to be joined and maybe a little bit more teary-eyed talking about that moment right there and what that means to be able to celebrate.
Yeah, I mean, it's been everything. We've never made it this far, so it's super cool, and we're just so happy.
Katie Dalton was sensational tonight. I know you guys are very, very close. What did you think of her performance?
She did great. She always does great. I'm in love with her.
Okay, so what was the message? You give up 2 sets to none, have a convincing lead. You had to grit out that 2nd set. You drop a tight 3rd set. Coach Ulmer had talked about managing the emotions.
Yeah.
So what did you guys talk about in that 4th set?
I mean, I thought the whole match we had a steady emotional pace-wise, so it was all good. We came back after that 3rd set just knowing that we're still in this game. We're ahead. We're 2-0, so like don't let that put anyone down. Let's come back with the same mentality as we did, and we did it. So
I got to think this is what you dream about, right?
Yeah.
When you came here. What's just the overall feeling as you watch your team celebrate out here?
it's just so fun. It's heartwarming. That's what I can explain it as. It's heartwarming.
Ryan, I know you mentioned some of your favorite times in your career with your family and friends from McPherson, Kansas. So a Kansas girl through and through. Your last time in Horridge playing, can you put it into words for us, just how you're feeling?
Not really. I mean, there's so many emotions. I'm so excited to get to play in this tournament and just play with my best friends.
Great job tonight. Enjoy this one. We'll see you next weekend.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ryan.
Ryan Swanson taking the Jayhawks into the Sweet 16. This celebration will go on for a while, I think.
I think it should, yeah. I mean, they had to leave this floor the last 2 years in a much different fashion. Molly McCarthy, the senior there, tears in her eyes, and very emotional because you got to get over that hump, right? You did not want to leave with a bad taste in your mouth as you did the last 2 years. But again, many new Jayhawks on this team and many proving to be in critical roles. One of those, Ivana Zelinovich, going back there and serving and ending this match in a 3-0 scoring run.
So many people to thank. Lily Witkowski, all season long, the KU Sports Information Office. Doug Seltzen with us courtside. Thank you for your help. Macy Palmer from Miami. Great job. We appreciate your help as well. Lori Bolick running things for the NCAA and helping with story ideas too. Did she get an associate producer credit on that one? Thank you very much. Our Rock Chalk video crew led by our producer director Curtis Lorenz. Tim Cornell, thank you very much for your work all season long. Great job by our crew. Wonderful pictures. Jill Dorsey Hall, it's been a pleasure.
Thanks, partner.
The best in the business. For Jill, I'm Lee Fleisig saying so long. From Lawrence, Kansas, the Kansas Jayhawks win it in 4 sets and head to the Sweet 16. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.